Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta and this is FRYETTE Sig X 100W tube amplifier. Well, yeah, indeed, FRYETTE's Sig X dynamic sensing technology. It says here, I've had this amp for years. I mean, I got this when the FRYETTE company was still called VHT. Then when they changed their names to FRYETTE, they sent me new nameplates and for the cabinet also. Great versatile amp, and as you heard on the song, it can really deliver some modern metal tones. But this amp basically is like a Swiss army knife of amps. I mean, there's a bunch of others too, but I really like this one. Usually I love JCM 800, one channel, couple of knobs, and first when I got this I was like, ooh, Jesus, whoa. But it's quite simple, because I mean there's three channels. Basically I think of them as maybe three amps, because they all are very different to each other, and they all have three different modes. So you have basically like 9 different amps in a box. So, but yeah, let's go through the sounds and the channels, and let's start on a rhythm channel. That channel can do anything from crystal clean to really heavy crunch. I used that channel on the left guitar on the song, and then the melody. Well, that was the channel when I filmed myself, I recorded. But yeah, so first what we have here, there's a channel switch, so all three channels. This has a foot switch also, but I have no idea where mine is. And then there's three different modes: vintage, live, and burn. So I have it on the vintage. Then it's kind of like I mean, this has a KT88 power tubes, but on the vintage mode, it's kind of like you're in that Marshall territory, that upper mid spank, you know. And oh yeah, I have the super overdrive on now. which I always have. And then the live channel, it's, I mean, well, let's check it out. It changes the character a bit. Then there's the burn channel, which is kind of like, I guess, the most modern, if you will. There's definitely that low mid thump coming, but they all sound great. I just used the vintage one on the song because that's kind of, you know, my style of sound. And there's 2 gain knobs. I don't really use this gain 2. It's basically it's like a boost, transparent boost. So it boosts everything. To me, it boosts a bit too much because it boosts the lows, highs, everything, you know. So because I like to boost the signal with overdrive, like 2 screamer, or like super overdrive SD1, which doesn't boost the low. It cuts the low a bit and then boosts the mids and a bit of highs. But yeah, let me demonstrate. Let's take off the SD. So with the SD, without, and then engage the boost. So it's really like, woof. I mean, if you're using like a Strat with a standard tuning, that might be pretty cool. And then there's a gain, more, less. You can get this channel to clean, but I mean, there's so much stuff you can do. So if you're interested, you should try this out. I'm not gonna go through all the things. Okay, let's put it back to more. And then there's a power shift from 100 watt to 40 watt. What it does is, well, obviously it lowers the volume, but then it makes the amp not as tight. It makes it a little bit more vintage and more like a looser kind of. Let me demonstrate. Mitä tapahtuu? Oh, the amp shut down. So let me try to fix this and we'll get back to this. Well, the amp didn't. There's nothing wrong with the amp. I have my wah-wah here. Jimi Hendrix Dunlop wah, what I used on the song, and I accidentally kicked off the cable. So where was I? The 100 watt to 40 watt mode. Yeah, I guess you heard it. It's a bit more vintage kind of thing. Then there's a scoop. Let's engage the super overdrive. If you want to have that scoop sound. I don't really like it, but I guess some people do. And then your usual controls: treble, middle, bass, depth. Depth is kind of like the resonance control, what you have, for example, in the PV 5150. And the resonance, depth and presence controls, they're same to these two channels. Okay, well, that was a rhythm channel, although the name is kind of like, I mean, well, I play the lead on that. There's, you know, so, but you gotta label it something. Let's switch to lead channel. like that. So this was the channel I used. I recorded after I filmed myself, so I doubled the guitar. And this is on the right speaker. It sounds like this. As you can hear, it's definitely more modern, a bit more aggressive, like that in your face. And there's also 3 modes. Let's start from the bottom. It's brown. It's like the darkest. It's a little bit dark, I think, with the humbuckers, but with the Strats, single coil pickups, or if you have really bright guitar, it might be good. Then a Brit, which I usually like. Again, the name suggests there's that, you know, EL34 kind of thing, you know. So it's a KD88 amp, but for some reason, how they've managed to make this sound a bit like EL34 amp in that mode. Dang dang. And the blow, what I used on the song, just seemed to suit well. It's the same, but it just adds a bit more low mid thump. Okay, and then let's check the saturation, and the gain is now like 1 o'clock, so there's a lot of gain on tap on that channel. On the rhythm channel I had it on full. Well, the gain 1, the gain 2 I didn't use. Okay, then engage the saturation, gain 2. So yeah, there's a lot of options. Well, again, the scoop mode, you know, it's just scoops the mids. Yeah, then let's change to clean channel, and I changed the guitar. Let me get my Tokai Strat. Oops. And clean. So yeah, with the foot switch, there's 5 buttons, 1 for each channel, and then you can engage the boost on all channels with the knob, and then effects loop on and off. And the foot switch remembers what settings you had on the channel you were. So let's say if you have a lead channel with boost on, when you go to another channel and then go back, it remembers that you had the boost on that channel. So it's pretty smart. Okay, clean channel. Again, 3 modes. The blue is it's very bloomy, soft, nice. And then bright, well, as the name suggests, it's a little bit brighter. And the spank, it's a kind of same what on these channels, so it's the bright, but it just adds a little low mid thump. Whoops. Yeah, and usual control. And there's a boost, power shift from 40 to 100 watt. I like this to be on a 40 watt. The distorted channels I like to be on a 100 watt because this is a little bit more and open. So it's kind of like, well, let's try it. It's louder and it's also a little bit sharper. The 40 watt, it's like kind of like softer attack, more vintage. And then the fat and open, well, pretty obvious. It's open. Let's turn it to fat. So, hey, there we go. Oh yeah, the back panel picture there. So there's a bunch of stuff I need to check it out. So yeah, the speaker in your usual, and then the effect loop. You can have it on series or parallel, and then when it's on series, there's the volume switch you see. You can actually have that as a master volume if you turn the loop on in series. So then all these volumes, because the channels have separate volumes, they go into that, you know, loop, and then you can control. So you can actually play with this amp, you know, the channels cranked, but then adjust the output volume or what goes into the power amp with the level switch. And then if the switch effect loop switch is in series, so then the level switch works as a blend switch. How much the effect loop sound is blended to the amplifiers, to the sound from preamp to power amp. Makes sense, yeah. And then high low things. So I usually when I play home, if I play with a cabinet, I have that loop on even though I don't have anything in there, and then just control the volume so I can have these cranked up because they sound a bit better when you open them. But now, yeah, the cabinet is one of my favorite cabinets because I like modern and vintage both, and what I really like is when you blend them. I mean, I have the Sir IR, the reactive load IR now. And what I have there as the IR is a Marshall mode for cabinet with vintage 30s and EVH speakers, which are basically greenbacks. And that's the IR is a blend of those. And mic'd with SM57 and Royer 121. So this cabinet, this has Stephen FRYETTE's own designed P50E speakers, which are made by Eminence, and I think they are kind of like, they have best of both worlds. Like they have the aggressiveness of the V30, the tight low end, but then they have the nice upper vintage thing of greenbacks. So it's a 200 watt cab. Really like it. But I didn't use it now because I mean it's kind of late hours and I didn't want to bother my neighbors. So I used the Serve IR load. But yeah, great cab. And yeah, I think that was about it. You know, Swiss Army of amplifiers. I'm not sure if they make these anymore, but if you happen to stumble one of these and the cab, I really, you know, can recommend, because it's basically, you know, everything you need in a box, from clean, nice, mildly overdriven to extreme, tight, modern metal sounds. Yeah, hey, hopefully you liked this video, and if you did, please thumbs up and subscribe, and yeah, until next time, take care, be safe, it will be alright.